This is page 3 now of our Unit 6 review. Question number 11, express the following in simplest form. So, we have to get rid of those parentheses first. So the 1/2 has to be given to each piece, including the 36. So you could write 36 to the 1/2. On your answer key, it says square root of 36. It means the same thing. Now, 4 times 1/2, x to the 4, and then times 1/2 is 2. You could write 4 over 2, but it means 2. And then y to the negative 6 times 1/2 is y to the negative 3. So now on the bottom, this 4x to the third is in front of the parentheses. So I'm just going to copy that down. 4x to the third. Oh, wait a second. Hold on. Let me erase that. I was thinking the other one was power to a power as well. We can actually just multiply 4x to the third times 5x to the negative 4, y to the third. Of course, I drew green all over and I can't see what's underneath. So this isn't power to a power. This is just multiplying with common bases. So you multiply your coefficients. 4 times 5 is 20. X to the third times x to the negative 4 is x to the negative 1. And then the y to the third has no friends to combine. So there's our first step. It's kind of killing me right now. I have 36 to the 1/2 because we know the square root of 36 is 6. But I'll take care of that in a second. I am going to rewrite this fraction. I'm going to take care of the square root of 36. And then I'm going to move my negative exponents to the opposite side of the fraction. That way they can become positive. So let's see. Square root of 36 is 6. X squared, that's from before. X to the negative 1 on the top is x to the 1. And then on the bottom, 20. Y to the 3. And then this guy goes on the bottom as well, y to the 3. So to simplify this fraction, make that a little smaller. 6 over 20 simplifies to 3 over 10. And now our x's are on the same side of the fraction, which means you're multiplying common bases, which means you're adding your exponents, x to the 3, and then y to the 3 times y to the 3, add those exponents up, and it's y to the 6. That's it. You can't do anything else because there's an x on the top and a y on the bottom. Good. Alrighty, these I think are the trickiest ones. Simplify each of the following problems. You must show your work. So for this one, when there's a coefficient, I keep that in radical form, square root of 48, and then the other things I'm going to put in exponential form. Remember, if there's a square root, there's an invisible 2 there. It's kind of implied. So 11 over 2, and then y to the 6 over 2. I'm totally going to run out of room on this. So 48, to simplify, I know is square root of 16 times square root of 3. So that becomes 4 square root of 3 or 4 radical 3. So I'm going to rewrite this for, leave some space, 3. Okay. Now, x to the 11 over 2. You can split this into 2 fractions, or you can say to yourself, hey self, how many times does 2 go into 11, which is x to the 5? Remainder is 1. So the x to the 5 goes in front of the radical, the remainder goes inside the radical, or if you want, you can just write that out. So we're going to split 11 over 2 into 2 fractions. We'll do 10 over 2 and then a 1 over 2. So this one, since the fraction simplifies to a whole number, x to the 5 goes in front, and the remainder, x to the 1, is inside the radical. You can leave the 1 or you can write the 1. Let's do some pink. Y to the 6 over 2? 6 over 2 simplifies to 3, so that whole thing goes in front of the radical. So your answer, simplified radical, 4x to the 5th, y to the 3rd, square root of 3x. The biggest thing here is show work that we can follow. That way you can get some credit if you're struggling with this. Okay, letter B. The cube root of negative 27 x to the negative 6 y to the 9. So I'm going to leave cube root of negative 27, which is negative 3, but I'm showing my work. X to the negative 6 over 3, y to the 9 over 3. So the cube root of negative 27 is negative 3. X to the negative 6 over 3 simplifies to x to the negative 2. Y to the 9 over 3 simplifies to y to the 3. Now, the only thing we have to fix is the negative exponent. X to the negative 2 is acting naughty. We don't want to get a ticket or lose points. Make my fraction bar. Negative 3 is fine. Leave it alone. Y to the 3 is fine. Leave it alone. The x to the negative 2 has got to go in the denominator like that, and it becomes positive. That is your simplified answer. So for letter C, cube root of 81, x to the 9, y to the 14. So a lot of this is going to simplify, thankfully. We have cube root of 81, which I know is, oh no, cube root of 81, rats. I was thinking fourth root of 81, x to the 9 over 3, y to the 14 over 3. So off the top of my head, I don't know what goes into 81. So what I would do is I would use my calculator. I would go to y equals and do 81 divided by x, and then look on my table for perfect cubes. And what would show up is 3 and 27. So when I simplify cube root of 81, I would do cube root of 27, cube root of 3. So let me get my cube root thing ready. So here's my cube root symbol. Cube root of 27 is 3. That's going in the front. And this cube root of 3 is left over. That goes right there. Now we've got x to the 9 thirds. That fraction completely simplifies to x to the 3. And then y to the 14 over 3. Well, I know 3 goes into 14 4 times with a remainder of 2. So you could put a y to the 4 in front. And then what was the remainder? 2 on the inside. You could also split this y to the 12 over 3 with a remainder of 2 over 3. If you want, that's fine. As far as showing work for a test, it's because you want to get full credit. That's fine. Really? Really, Tom? Again, I'm not asking for silence. It's fine. Okay. I had paused. Oh, no. When did I had it paused.